Hey everyone, this is Dean with DCA Crypto. Today I have a Quant video for you guys. I got some updates that I want to share for you and get out to you guys. I would really appreciate if you subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell. Please give this video just a quick like to get the YouTube algorithm pumping. All right guys, let's jump into it. All right, so Quant, under $90. This is a steal in my opinion. I picked up some more Quant today actually as I'm recording this. And, I think with this price range here, if we look at the max, it got up to $400 in the last bull run. We're really starting to get down in this area here. That's a really great, fantastic buying zone for Quant. Now, we could see some further decline on it, maybe in the $70 to $80 range. But if it gets any lower than that, I'm really going to start scooping it up heavy because I think it's going to do fantastic in the next bull run. There's some things I wanted to share with you here on this video because some people have been speculating some things about Quant lately without a lot of proof. So I just wanted to dive into it a little bit with you and show you if I've been able to find anything of value or truth to it or not. And so I want to jump in this website here and show you this article, and I'll put the link for these in the description of the video so you can read through them if you want. Securities and Finance Times posted this about Project Sellout. Demonstrates retail CBDC can support access while retaining cash features. Project Sellout, joint experiment by the Bank of International Settlements, and we all know that Quant partnered with the Bank of International Settlements for Project Rosalind and also the Bank of England and Barclays. So that's where this speculation kind of came out that, well, maybe they did this Project Sellout as well with them. And the central banks of Hong Kong and Saudi and Israel has proven the simplicity of a retail central bank digital currency (CBDC) ecosystem. The test project proved that the CBDC system could combine accessibility and competition, preventative cybersecurity, while retaining key advantages of physical cash. Coordinated by the BIS Innovation Hub Hong Kong Center, Project Sellout leverages the Bank of Israel's cybersecurity expertise and ongoing work with the Digital Shekel and Hong Kong Monetary Authority's HKMA learnings, as well as Innovation Hub experiments on our CBDCs. So I'm not going to read this whole article here, but you guys can read through this if you want. I'm going to go to the Project Sellout website here and just kind of go over this. Project Sellout demonstrates that retail CBDC can support access, cybersecurity, and competition while retaining cash features. And it says the BIS Innovation Hub experiment was conducted jointly with the Bank of Israel and Hong Kong Monetary Authority. Project tests new intermediary access enabler and reduces liquidity of settlement risks and operating costs. Project Sellout shows that with preventative design, access to our CBDC does not compromise cybersecurity. And it goes into a lot more detail in this on this website. But I was scrolling through here and I was scrolling through the PDF about it here. It talks about using a ledger for the technology. It doesn't really talk about Quant or the overledger per se, but some people are speculating that because it talks about a ledger here and it's dealing with the Bank of International Settlements and CBDCs and using a ledger, that Quant must be involved with this, but I can't find any connection. I even went as far as going to the Project Sellout authors and reading through the list of authors because there were several dozen of them, and I didn't find anyone from Quant's team on that paper at all writing any information or writing anything about it. Now that doesn't mean Quant wasn't involved because I think it was all people from the Bank of International Settlements that probably wrote that, not necessarily any of the outside entities. But I can't find any true correlation between Quant and Project Sellout. Now, does that upset me? Not really. Not really a big deal to me because we already know that they have worked with the Bank of International Settlements in the past and the Bank of England and Barclays and some others, and we know that Gilbert Verdian has major connections with governments and the financial industry, especially the central banks. So not really too much of a worry. And we also know that Quant is very secretive about who's using the overledger because they want to protect their clients, because they don't want anyone trying to, I'm sure trying to protect them from hacks and stuff like that, to know who might be using that technology, because if somebody found out that has, bad intentions, they might try to start, causing problems for Quant or the Overledger by trying to hack it or something like that is more than likely. And so they probably have a lot of disclosure agreements that hide a lot of the information from the public to be known. So not really a big worry to me. And I also wanted to cover this with you here. Quant partners with the Lac Chain. This was actually from a couple years ago, but I just saw this article, thought it was interesting, wanted to cover it because I haven't covered it in the past. Basically what this Lac Chain is, it's basically like a way for Latin America and the Caribbean to set up payment systems through the Quant Overledger, so they can just use like an app at the store and purchase things with the Quant Overledger in the markets in Latin America where they don't have a lot of banks and access to financial institutions there. So wanted to cover this in my video, let you know about this a little bit. I'm not going to read through all this because it'll make the video too long, but the signing of this MOU between Lac Chain and Quant Network is a key element in developing the infrastructure in terms of interoperability. It represents not only the opportunity for technical collaboration, but it also represents a joint contribution effort to develop the blockchain ecosystem in Latin America and the Caribbean. So props to Quant for doing that. And I apologize, I have a really terrible cold right now, so my voice is raspy and my nose is stuffed up, so it probably sound like crap to you guys, but I want to make sure I'm getting these videos out daily to you regardless of whether I'm sick or not. As long as I can talk, I'm going to keep getting these videos out to you guys, so hang in there with me. Quant also, this was on September 5th, Quant available on OutSystems Forge. What is OutSystems Forge? They're a low-code development platform for the development of mobile and web enterprise applications. Just another thing that Quant is doing to make the Overledger available and blockchain technology available to the public and to businesses without having to make it too complicated for them. All right, let's jump into some price action now. So Quant, $88, 88 cents or 87 cents. I did purchase some more Quant today, and I'm going to continue accumulating it up until the bull run. I think we got about 9 months or so before the bull run really kicks off. Nobody really knows for sure, but that's just typically when it happens is after the Bitcoin halving, and that is in April. It's now almost October, so we're coming down to that 7 to 8 month mark where we're going to have the Bitcoin halving happen, and then we might get a dip right after the halving, and then things might take off like they have in the past. We'll just have to wait and see. But when Quant gets down in this buying zone, if it gets down in the $40 range again, and $50 range, I'll be scooping it up as heavy as can be and adding as much as I can to my portfolio, because I think it's going to smash through this $400 mark. Now there's likely going to be some high selling pressure in the $300 to $400 mark just because of this big spike here in the last bull run, but it's still a very low market cap for Quant, so I don't think it's going to be too difficult to smash through that. And I think Quant's likely going to be a blue chip in the upcoming bull run and probably get in the top 10. That's just my personal opinion with all the stuff that they're offering and the type of clients that they're going after, with CBDCs and that really being a big factor in the upcoming bull run, and especially in the 2029 and 2030 bull run. That's when CBDCs are going to be fully in effect, is at 2030. So I think by then Quant will definitely be a blue chip if it happens to not be in this upcoming bull run. But my price targets for Quant in the next bull run are probably around $1,500 to $2,500, but I'll likely start taking out 10 to 20% of my portfolio and selling it as soon as I get like close to a 10x on it. So depends on what price I pick some of this up at, but right now, my average on Quant I think is a little over $100. So, but I'll probably start taking out some profits in the $900 range, and taking out a decent chunk, and then if I get it even cheaper and get my dollar cost average down even lower than that, if I can get it down in the 80s and 90s, I'll probably take out some in the $800 range or so. But we'll just have to kind of see what kind of prices we get going forward. But again, my target's around that $1,500, $2,500 mark, but I'll be taking out profits on the way up and not necessarily waiting for magic dollar amounts. Even if it gets up in the, $400 or $500 range, I may take out some profits at that point. Just depends on how early we are in the bull market and how my portfolio is doing. So keep that in mind. Try to be flexible a little bit on where you're taking profits and make sure that you're grasping some and not waiting for some magic dollar amount. That's pretty much what I've got for this video, guys. I really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel and give this video just a really quick like to get the YouTube algorithm flowing for it. I also have the free Telegram if you guys want to join that. The link's in the description of the video and the pinned comment. And that's pretty much all I've got for this video. We'll see you on the next one.
Tell me what you need.